Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Johanna, and for those of you who are new here, welcome. And for those of you who are returning, welcome back. Here on my channel, I do planner and planner related videos with the occasional new release video of items that I've listed to my Etsy shop. And if that is of interest to you, please consider subscribing to my channel and hitting that little notification bell so that anytime I load a new video, you will be notified. And if you could also like, comment, and share this video on your favorite platform, it is absolutely free and I would truly appreciate it. So I wanted to do a quick video, and for me that's relative because I always have the best intentions, but yeah. But this is the HappyNichi that I recently created, and I actually created this new cover out of a placemat. And if you're interested in just a quick tutorial on how I did that, just let me know in the comments below. But I wanted to see a size comparison, and when I was in Walmart the other day, I actually found this little planner. So this is based on a half sheet Happy Notes notebook, and this is one that I completely made on my own, and I'll link that video below because I can't find those half sheet notebooks here in Hawaii. So everything is absolutely cut down and made by hand, and this is what I plan on making my HappyNichi with. But I found this in Walmart, like I mentioned, and this is the Exceed Planner. Now, I think there might be some videos on this. I haven't seen any recently, but I think there were some that were posted last year. But the reason why I picked this up is twofold. This was $7.97 in my local Walmart. For mainlanders, you may actually be able to find this cheaper. It was in the planner section of my Walmart store. And this is actually set up to mirror, I believe, the Hobonichi. Now, I don't have a Hobonichi, so I can't tell you for sure if it's a page-by-page dupe, but I think the layout absolutely is. So this first page is a tables and measurements with a handy little ruler here, which I think is cool. You've got a world map, and just in case any of you were wondering, we are right here, basically in the middle of nowhere. So Hawaii right there. And you've got the 3-year at a glance, so the current year and then the upcoming 2 years. Here you've got, I guess, sort of like an important dates kind of thing. You could put birthdays here or holidays here or doctor's appointments here or whatever, but basically you've got the month of the year listed there, and then you've got the days listed there where you could make lists of a variety of things that you might have going on, and it gives you a nice 4-month overview. And it actually gives you all the way from July through June of 2020. And again, that 4-month overview for me is going to be very helpful because I plan to use this at work, and it just helps me list out some upcoming dates for the semester, some of my due dates for some of my projects. So I like the idea of having 4 months at a glance. In fact, at work I do have 4 hanging calendars that have that, but if I have something near me that I can take with me to various meetings and things, I think this is going to be very useful. And then this goes into the monthly overview, 2 months on a spread. And again, it goes from July through June. And I probably won't use much, if all of these pages, just because I don't typically use a monthly overview. But it's good that they have it. And I know from flip throughs that I've seen on YouTube, this is the style that the Hobonichi Weeks is set up as. So you don't have it like a happy planner where your monthly overview is immediately followed by your weekly spreads. It's basically all of your year at a glance, then all of your monthly overviews, and then all of your weeklies. So again, the monthly overviews goes through June, and then you get into the weekly spread. And what differentiates the Hobonichi is that it gives you the functional planning setup like a regular planner, but it also gives you a sheet of dot grid paper like a bullet journal, so you get the best of both worlds. And again, all of the weeks are in a row all the way through the end of June, through the first week of July, because there are 2 days in that last week. And then there is a little pocket there, and there are two, I think there's two little strings. And this you can do where you have it on the week that you're on. So if you're planning for the first week of July, and then if you want to have it on the corresponding monthly overview, or again, wherever, then that's how you can use the two little bookmarks that are attached. Now, I don't know if you can tell, but the signatures in here are sewn. So you can see the thread right there. So if I wanted to, I could actually take this apart and then punch it and put it in a planner system that way, because once you get rid of the binding system, these signatures are actually together. And I don't know if you can see that, but there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different signatures. So it would be easy enough to just rip this apart and do that, and you can keep all of your signatures together. Now, if this were glued down together, it might be harder to take out in a more seamless fashion, but because it is bound like this, it should be fairly easy. Now, I'm not going to do that because, like I said, I am going to use this for work, and I like the slim design, and I probably won't even put any stickers, if maybe just one here, just because this is quite stark, or maybe I will cover it in some nice paper. I don't know, but I mean, it is for work, and I can tuck it away in one of my file drawers, so that's good. Now, I measured, and this measures 5, or just a smidge, or the paper is just a smidge shorter than 5 inches and just a smidge taller than 8.25 inches. And when I looked, it was a kahir size. I think that might be a style of notebook, but it's 8.25 by 5 and just a smidge taller and shorter than those measurements. Now, I was actually able to find a Hobonichi Weeks size. So this, if you had a Hobonichi Weeks, this is the size comparison. So this here is 7.4 that way by 3.7 that way, or millimeters, it is 95 millimeters this way and 187 millimeters that way. And that actually is easier to measure out than you would think. So centimeters, you would put, if you're doing 95, it's actually 9 plus the half there, and that's 95 millimeters. And then for the 187, it would be the 18 there, and then 7 of those lines over to get you 187, because doing 7.4 and 3.7 to me in inches actually is a little bit harder. All right, so you can see it is significantly bigger, but it isn't that big when you do the comparison for these two. And hold on. So this is the mini notebook that I had made, and so in comparison, let's see if I can get a page. So if I turn this over, it's about the same height as a mini, but certainly a lot narrower. It's more narrow than a mini. And then if you do a comparison with the mini and the Exceed notebook from Walmart, it is roughly, when you take into account the cover, because the cover is wider than this, then it is about the same size, although it is maybe an inch or so taller. Now, when you compare that to this, which the paper size is 9 1/4 by 4 1/8, then it is significantly taller. And that helps, I think, when you're doing your weekly spreads. If you do it in the Hobonichi style, you actually get a little bit more room than with an actual Hobonichi Weeks, and even with one of these, because I would think it'd have to be a smidge shorter for each of them in order for it to fit the page. And I believe it also has a header on the Hobonichi Weeks, although the Hobonichi Weeks is purely in Japanese and this one is in English. So if that bothers you from the Hobonichi Weeks, this definitely might be a better deal. Now, if you are thinking about getting the Hobonichi Weeks and you don't want to go through the hassle of drawing out everything on your own, then I would actually recommend this, just because it isn't much bigger than the actual Hobonichi Weeks. It's in the layout that the Weeks is in, and more importantly, it's in the binder style. So instead of forking over the $40 or $50 to include shipping for the Hobonichi Weeks, try out this $8 planner and see if you even like the bookbinding style, and if you like the layout like this, because this is a much more affordable deal than the Hobonichi Weeks might be, okay? And then again, this is the HappyNichi, which is significantly taller than this, and the Hobonichi, but again, from a planning standpoint, I think it might be better for me, just because one, it's on discs, and two, it gives me more planner size. And then just to end this video, because I will do a plan with me in here in just a bit, I wanted to do a pen test, because I've heard that the Hobonichi Weeks, the paper quality is very thin, and yet the paper is amazing for the thinness, because you wouldn't think it could hold up to pens. I don't have it to compare, so I can't tell you what the comparison would be, but I can at least give you a pen test of what the Walmart brand. So this is the Tombow N15. Now, I never use this pen only because I know it bleeds in a Happy Planner, and I don't want that. This is a Pilot G2 in a 3.8, and that looks like a 6. And Papermate Fleer in medium. And because I predominantly use black pens, that's the testing that I'm going to do. This is my Pilot High-Tech C in a 3.8. And then this is a Sharpie pen. And I wonder if I have a regular Sharpie. I do. And then this is just Sharpie. And let's see how it looks on the back side. All right, so there is definitely some ghosting on the back side. And actually, I'm surprised the Tombow only ghost. It actually doesn't bleed through like the Sharpie does. Of the pens, the least amount of ghosting, at least that I can see, is the Pilot, the High-Tech, although It's followed by the G2 and the 3.8. You can definitely see the Sharpie and the Papermate flare, but again, if that doesn't bother you, then it doesn't bleed through, but the ghosting is there. And I was just curious to see, could you see the ink of the other side, but not really. Although you can definitely see the Tombow and the Sharpie through the page, although, I mean, you're not planning backwards, so, I mean, that's not going to be a problem. Just be aware. So I just wanted to do the size comparison between these three. This one's going to go back to work. This is the size of a Hobonichi Weeks. This is the comparison of the Hobonichi Weeks and the HappyNichi that I will be making, or am in the process of making. And then this is the size comparison next to a mini. And I mean, it definitely is taller because a classic is 9 rings, a mini is 7. And I think the paper, yeah, I think the paper is actually slightly whiter. So if we put this on the rings, yeah, there is definitely overhang. You can see that there's overhang, not by much, but there definitely is overhang. So yeah, hopefully you find this useful. And again, definitely let me know if you want to see how I made this plastic cover. And that's it for me for this video. The next video I'll be filming is doing a plan with me in my HappyNichi. And as always, aloha.